So I'm going to be solving a problem I have with this guitar over here. Currently, the issue I have with it is that it doesn't have a master volume. It has 4 knobs, which is 4 more than I need. But I'm just going to take one away just for now because, well, I'm not that experienced. I'm not a professional guitar tech. I'm just a guy who kind of knows his way around a soldering iron. And I'm starting to get a little bit more hands-on with a bunch of different disciplines. And I'm also in the phase of my life where I'm buying tools, so there's that. But yeah, I'm going to try create a master volume, and hopefully this goes as well as I think it's going to. And in case anyone's wondering, I'm using these Elixir 11s. Reason being is I've always used Elixirs. They last me basically an entire year, 6 months. I'm not even sure. That's how long these things last. And 11s because I actually play in dropped C and D standard, and then I use a pitch shifter to pitch down to A sharp. But anyways, I'm going to reset the camera and get started on this little project here. The whole goal with this project is to make sure I cut down as much unnecessary fiddling that I would have to do with my guitar so that when I'm on stage, I can just pick it up, make sure the volume is all the way up, and just go for it. I don't really do any half in between or any sort of positioning of my volume or tone knobs even. So this was the first step in just getting everything out of the way that I don't use so that it can just be a straightforward, easy enough pick up and play. Though when I initially popped open the hood, I realized I couldn't exactly do this by myself because I've never actually done this before. So I called up a friend of mine and he told me exactly what I needed to wire where, how I would need to do it. So after that phone call, I got straight back to work. Now the issue with my soldering iron is that it did not have a temperature control. And this means it's pretty difficult to actually dial it in, or in the case I currently have, get the soldering iron hot enough so that it can actually melt the solder. This specific circuit is really difficult to melt through, and for some reason my soldering iron just would not get hot enough. I couldn't get like a solder I currently have to stick to it properly. It was just an incredibly difficult process and it took me way too long, and I think I stayed up until 1 in the morning trying to even get this thing to work. But I was able to actually test it by just touching a screwdriver to either of the pickups, and I got signal from both of them, and also made sure to flip the switch to make sure that tapping each of them only delivered signal from each of the pickups or both pickups when appropriate. I also made sure to turn up and down the volume, and that worked perfectly fine as intended. So there we go, that's part 1 of the master volume switch. Hopefully you enjoyed, stick around for part 2.